First tonight, Governor Gina Raimondo has announced plans to significantly ramp up coronavirus testing and tracing in Rhode Island. I'm Shannon Heggie.
And I'm Mike Montecalvo. Today, the number of positive cases in Rhode Island passed 10,000. The Department of Health reports another 15 people with COVID-19 have died, bringing the death toll to 370. More than a third of those deaths have been reported in just the last 8 days.
The number of people in the hospital decreased again, as did the number of people in intensive care and on ventilators. Today, Governor Raimondo said she still anticipates lifting her stay-at-home order this weekend. She announced regulations for businesses that can reopen in Phase 1 will be posted tonight on the website reopeningri.com.
Phase 1 will also include the governor's order requiring Rhode Islanders to wear face coverings in public places, indoors and outdoors, if unable to social distance. It goes into effect Friday.
Eyewitness News politics editor Ted Nesi joins us live from the State House with what the governor had to say this afternoon. Ted?
Good evening, Shannon. Mike, even as 10,000 Rhode Islanders have now tested positive for coronavirus over the past 2 months, the governor says she thinks much more testing will be needed until a vaccine is available.
Rhode Island is faring very well.
With Governor Gina Raimondo now all but certain to lift her stay-at-home order on Saturday, she's laying out her plan to keep the coronavirus under control in the coming months. At the core of her strategy, even more testing every day.
And so we got to go from 3,000 to 10,000 by July and hopefully 20,000 by end of September.
Another goal, get a response team on site within 4 hours of any major outbreak being discovered.
If you don't get on the outbreaks either before they happen or right away, then that's when you get into trouble. That's what we have to work hard to avoid.
Officials also moving ahead with their effort to estimate how many Rhode Islanders already have immunity to the virus. Letters started going out today to 5,000 randomly selected residents, asking them to participate in antibody testing at 4 area Stop and Shops.
If you get a letter and you feel nervous, you don't want to do it, whatever, that is always and always will be your choice. But I'm asking you to do it.
But even as Rhode Island is a leader on testing compared with other parts of the country, the state still isn't doing enough in some places.
And we've also been adding over the past 2 weeks testing sites in communities that have been the hardest hit. Oneyville, the south side of Providence, Cranston, Woonsocket, Pawtucket, Central Falls. This week we're opening again in Pawtucket, Central Falls, East Providence, and Newport.
And I should note, every day after the governor's televised briefing, we reporters ask her follow-up questions on a live conference call. And if you want to listen into those, we post them every day on our website, WPRI.com. Live at the State House, Ted Nesi, Eyewitness News.
First tonight, Governor Gina Raimondo says it's increasingly likely that her stay-at-home order will be lifted this weekend.
However, she cautions Phase 1 won't look much different than it does right now. And she says that means people will have to celebrate Mother's Day differently this year. Eyewitness News reporter Ted Nesi joins us now live from the State House. Hi, Ted.
Hi, Mike. Well, with Mother's Day being only the second day in over a month where Rhode Island is likely to be not under a stay-at-home order, the governor is pleading with residents to still keep coronavirus in mind as they make their plans.
If I lift the stay-at-home order, which I anticipate I will, and tomorrow I'm going to go through all the executive orders, we're still going to be very limited in the number of people that we can be with in social gatherings. And especially if your mother is older or sick or has underlying health conditions, it's really not a good idea to go race to see mom and bring all your brothers and sisters and your kids, and before you know it, there's 15 or 20 people in the house, and that's exactly what we cannot afford to have on, the first or second day of lifting the stay-at-home order. So I'm asking you now to just plan for it. One of the folks I talked to at the hospital said, I was saying, are you okay if I lift the stay-at-home order and it's Mother's Day? And he said, yeah, just tell people that if they love their mom, they won't go see her. Now, of course, he was joking, but the point is, just get creative. And definitely, if your mother lives in a nursing home, assisted living, if you haven't seen her because you've been trying to stay away from her and she's in communal living, please don't go see her. And I realize that's a very hard message for me to give. And even if she is in good health, just don't get together in a big crowd. That's my ask of you. So if we start planning now, we can figure out a way to love and cherish, respect, and treat our moms. But I'd ask you to remember, we still have to obey social distancing and not get together in big crowds.
The governor was also asked today that if she lifts the stay-at-home order, as we expect starting Saturday, will she also lift the limit on social gatherings, which is currently limited to no more than 5 people? She says that is not certain, and she could keep it at 5 when the state enters phase 1 of reopening. Live at the State House, Ted Nesi, Eyewitness News.